Hello, fifth grade. This is your math video for Tuesday, November 30th, last day of November, and it is going to be lesson 52. I'm going to teach a lesson to you. If you still have questions afterward, I'll show you a few examples, but if you still have questions afterward, what you need to understand is that you can call me, and that's why my phone number is on that booklet. Mrs. Hicks is still recovering from her sickness, so make sure that you give me a call if you have any questions, if you do not understand how it works, unless you have somebody there at home that can help you, and that's perfectly fine if they do that. So, all right, so we're on lesson 52, and with that lesson comes, as you may understand me a little differently than Mrs. Hicks. Hopefully you can understand me well enough to know what to do for this lesson. All right, we're on lesson 52, so page 197. So you'll be looking in your books while we're doing it, even though it's a video, it's recorded. The nice thing about a video is you can always rewind, stop, pause, work through it, and then go through the lesson again. And again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call. My phone number is 425-301-6238, but that's on the front of the booklet that you got, so it shouldn't be in the what was I going to say? It shouldn't be in the have a problem with being able to contact me. I do have my phone on. I even had people texting me while I'm doing this video. So just go ahead and open up to 197. We'll talk about simplifying mixed measures. Mixed measures are talking about things like feet and inches. They would be similar, but they are different measures of each other. And I think meters and centimeters and millimeters, those are also another thing that we can use. Okay, so starting with the lesson, you see example 1 there. It says that John is 5 feet 4 inches tall. And it asks you to put it all in inches, basically. Now, if you are familiar with the comparison, well, if you look at the clock, that was where it was before, and now it's at this point. I've been interrupted several times during this time. But we're going to go ahead and go over example 1. It says John is 5 feet 4 inches tall. How many inches tall is John? So you already have some inches there. How many is that? That's going to be 4 inches. So you have that part. And you've got the 5 feet. Now the 5 feet needs to be converted into inches. And so to convert the 5 feet into inches, how many inches are in each foot? Each foot has, everybody should know, a foot has 12 inches. So you've got to take your 5 feet and multiply it by 12 inches. All right, and so your 5 times 12, and if you know your math facts, you should know this right away, that it is 60 inches. Now, be careful, because you've got to not rush through this. You've got to make sure you get every part. And that includes adding the 4 inches that you originally had. So you have the 60 plus 4, and it comes out to 64 inches altogether. And so that's what you're trying to simplify mixed measures. In other words, mixed measures, you have feet and inches. You want to get it all to one measurement. You can't do it all in feet because 4 inches won't equal any kind of a foot, although you could say 6 1/3 feet, truthfully, because 4 inches is 1/3 of a foot. Now look at example 2. Example 2 says, Tracy ran a quarter mile in 1 minute. And in that, let me find my eraser here. I have it here somewhere. What did I do with it? Anyway, in that, I'll just use a tissue. So Tracy ran a quarter mile in 1 minute, 15 seconds. What was her time in seconds? Now, is the quarter mile, how far she ran, important in this lesson? I mean, in this example? No, it's not important. She ran a quarter mile. That doesn't really matter because you're not worried about how far she ran. You're worried about how long she ran. She ran 1 minute and 15 seconds. And so 1 minute, 15 seconds. Now, there are a couple ways to write this. You can write it like this, 1 minute, 15 seconds. You can write it like this. That's another way to do it. Now, that also can mean hours and minutes, but in this case, you can do, really, there is a way to write the seconds in there if you're going to write an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 15 minutes with 0 seconds as well. But in this case, you can do it like that, but it's easy enough to know that you have 15 seconds, you're going to convert it all to seconds. Well, how many seconds are in a minute? Right? You should know this conversion that it is 60 seconds in a minute. So you have 60 seconds, and then you also have your 15 seconds, and that equals a total of 75 seconds. And so that's what you're going to put as your answer. So hopefully that gives you an understanding of what they're looking for, what you need to learn how to do. The biggest problem that you may have is reading the question and understanding what it's asking you to do. So usually the last sentence in a word problem is always going to be what they want you to do. So look at example 3. Before we look at the whole thing, look at the very last sentence. The very last sentence says, how many ounces did the melon weigh? So you're looking for the total weight of the melon in ounces. And so now I go back and I read my original problem. And the original problem says 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So let's write that down. So 1 pound equals 16 OZ. And there's a reason that OZ stands for ounces and not OC or ON. All right, so 16 ounces, 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So you know that that's information they give you. How much did the melon weigh? Well, the melon weighed 3 pounds. And what was the other part? 8 ounces. All right. So you know you already have some ounces here. You're trying to find. Remember what the original thing that we read was that last sentence. How many total ounces were there? So we have 8 ounces already. Now we got to take that 3 pounds and convert it into ounces. Since each pound equals 16 ounces, we can take our 3 pounds and multiply by 16. And you're going to get a total of, anybody know? Offhand? 48 ounces altogether. But you've got to add it to that original 8 ounces. So the 8 ounces plus that is going to equal 56 ounces. All right, so there's where you have your answer. All right, now remember, underneath each of the numbers in your lessons are numbers in parentheses. There is no reason you should, no reason for a lot of the questions you have or say that you don't understand a problem, because you can always go back to the original lesson where it was taught, and from that original lesson figure out what it is that you're supposed to do in that problem. And then if you can't figure it out, then you can always ask the teacher. Or in the case of this week, you can call me, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. All right, well, that's it for your lesson for today. We'll have another Bible and another math lesson tomorrow. Don't forget to listen to the Bible video. It's out there already on my YouTube channel. And then you can then make sure you get those 2 things done. All of your work will be turned in on Monday, so make sure that you do that. All right, have a good day. See you tomorrow.